Hello, everyone. Uh, Today, I want to take you on a journey through one of the darkest yet most honorable chapters of our modern history. Um, we will talk about a man whose songs were more than just music. They were the voice of reason during a time of madness. George Balašević was not just the Pannonian sailor, as was born in Novi Sad, in the heart of Pannonian Plate in Serbia. Uh, but he's not, as said, not just singing about love. He was a symbol of civic resistance and an uncompromising fighter for democracy. Let's look at how art and how courage grew in a powerful political rebellion. Um, to understand Balašević's struggle, we must go back to the 90s. That was the era marked by the breakup of Yugoslavia, wars, economic sanctions, poverty, and total media censorship under Slobodan Milošević's regime. While many artists choose to remain silent, go into exile, or unfortunately become part of the war propaganda machine, Balašević made a conscious choice. He refused to be mobilized and chose the path of resistance. As the famously put in his iconic song Ana Maria, we are to blame for remaining silent. As I mentioned, his iconic words was, "We are to blame for remain silent," meaning that you must be silent when some terrible things are happening. The silence was exactly what he wanted to break. His powerful weapons was his songs. The 1993 song "Čovek sa mesecom u očima," "The Man with the Moon in His Eyes," was a direct slap in the face to warm-going politics and a quiet anthem dedicated to the tragedy of the destroyed cities throughout former Yugoslavia. That same year, in the song "Put to Evropa," "Farewell Europe," he said goodbye to a normal life, fully aware that politics are isolating us from the civilized world. These songs were not just art, they were an indictment of a destructive regime and an outlet for everyone who thought differently. In 1997 and 1996, when students and citizens took the streets in protest of electoral fraud, Balašević stood right by their side. His presence brought legitimacy and gave a second wind to the young protesters. The peak of these engagements came in the year of 2000 with the song "Živeti slobodno," "To Live Freely." This track became the official soundtrack and anthem of the Otpor movement, resistance movement, and of all the citizens who overthrew the dictatorship that autumn. It sent a clear message: freedom is not a gift, it must be won. In this slide, I want to remember, some of you may know, about the greatest test of his democratic and pacifist missions took place in 1998. Balašević went to Sarajevo, becoming the first artist from Serbia and to cross the border and perform after the war in Bosnia. He faced serious death threats from both sides, from Serbian and Bosnian sides, and organizers insisted that he should wear a bulletproof vest on the stage. Jole, as was his nickname, refused, saying it would be an insult to the audience. This concert in Skanderia Hall, sponsored by UNHCR, was a historic steps towards reconciliation. It provides that true democracy does not tolerate hatred, and that culture can rebuild broken bridges much faster than any politicians. And even today, all people of former Yugoslavia have similar, all nations have similar idols and singers, and culture became much faster, broke these limits, and than the politicians did. On October, following the political shifts of October 5th, when Serbian people voted against Milosevic, but Milosevic refused to recognize results of the elections. And but after big demonstrations, long-awaited democracy finally arrived. However, Balašević was not in an armchair critic who flattered the new authorities. Very quickly, sensing that the new political elites were betraying the ideas of the revolution, and that the energy of the people, he raised his voice once again. Through songs like Dok svira radio, While the Radio Plays in 2004, he criticized the new rulers who traded ideas for political seats and privileges. His lessons were clear. Democracy is not the final destination where you may arrive and rest, but constant struggle and constant scrutiny of those in power. So, in the end, looking back, George Balašević stayed true to himself from the first to the very last second. He was never a member of any political party, nor was his struggle a fight for power. It was a fight for normalcy, for dignity, and for the right to think with our own heads. He left us a legacy, the lessons that an artist has a moral obligation to be mirror to society, even when doing so is life-threatening. He passed away in 2021 from COVID virus and was born in whole Yugoslavia, in Zagreb, in Sarajevo, in Belgrade, in Skopje, and of course in his born city of Novi Sad, where he got his nickname Pannonian Sailor. Now I will sing this famous refrain of this famous song. Nije to glava pismo, ili jesmo, ili nismo, ovo srce bubnja večni tam otpora, živeti slobodno, svetom se oriti. Vidim takom sokola sa perom protiv otrova, živeti slobodno, svetom se oriti. Tvoj steg na svakom draguje, gde ti se neko raduje, živeti slobodno. Thank you very much for attention.
And now, after your song, I will give the floor for another song, but this time from Romania, from Cluj-Napoca. I will give the floor to Elena Stefănuț, and I want to underline that she is the creator of this song. She made the lyrics and the music for this song. And her song is De la alba vine un nor, that means a cloud is coming from Alba.
De la alba vine un nor, hai da la 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 la, și mi-aduce drag și dor, hai da la 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 la. De la alba vine un nor, hai da la 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 la, și mi-aduce drag și dor, hai da la 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 la. dor de satul de subie, hai la 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 la, și de-a mea copilărie, hai la 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 la, pe cărarea de subii, hai da 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 la la la, la polele pădurii, hai da 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 la la, pe cărarea de subii, hai da 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 la la, la polele pădurii, hai da 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 la. Am învățat a cânta, hai la 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 la, doi na lina trăgăna, hai la 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 la. Maninam cu florile, hai da la da la la la, cântam cu păsările, hai da 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 la. Maninam cu florile, hai da da la, cântam cu păsările, hai da da la. N-aveam griji, gânduri n-aveam, hai la 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 la, fericită mai eram, hai la 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 la. Unde ești copilărie, hai la 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 la, unde ai fugit de mine, hai la 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 la.
Has a beautiful and wonderful voice, and she sings beautiful as all the time. Thank you very, very much, Elena. It's wonderful. And now I will make a presentation. I want to talk with you about a very nice and interesting project. Its name is FRY, From Resistance to European Integration. And this project is funded by the CERF, Citizen Equality Rights and Values Program of the European Union. And this project has as coordinator Foster Europe from Austria, and also, except besides Romania, has partners from Italy, Portugal, and Greece. At the event in Lisbon in March, I had the opportunity to present commemorating democracy in Romania, because the project explores diverse national paths to democracy and European Union memberships, and as well as the struggles for democracy and human rights, focusing on these five EU member states. And these countries, Italy, Austria, Greece, Portugal, and Romania, represent key examples of Europe's challenges and achievements in establishing democratic governments and advancing a robust human rights system. And I can start with Elena, you can with the dates, which are very important for us in Romania. And I want to tell you that Romania's democratic experience is relatively recent and deeply shaped by its communist past. Until 1989, Romania was under an authoritarian regime led by Nicolae Ceausescu, marked by secret police control, economic hardship, and severe repression of dissent. The transition to democracy began abruptly and violently during the revolution of December 1989, when citizens protested on the streets. I'm very happy to say that I'm from Timișoara, because in Timișoara started the revolution in 1989, and on December 20th, Timișoara became the first Romanian city free of communism. Also, we celebrate, beside this day of remembrance, the 21st and 22nd of December, when we celebrate, when we have the revolution. In March 9th, we have the formal political prisoners day. So these dates are very important for us because they are days of remembrance. An important event was in the early of 1990s, known as Mineriads, which involved violent interventions by coal miners who were called to Bucharest by Ion Iliescu. Ion Iliescu was the first president of post-communist Romania. And these interventions and very, very violent, I can say that, were directly against anti-government protesters and leading to severe beatings and deaths. So it was a very brutal and very violent period. These Mineriads raised serious concerns about the fragility of democratic institutions and showed that the authoritarian practices didn't disappear overnight. And they remain as a sensitive part of Romania's collective memory. In Romania, commemorating democracy is inseparable for remembering dictatorship, repression, and difficulties of transitions. Memory plays a fundamental role in shaping democratic values. It is not only about recalling historical events, but also about honoring victims, recognizing abuses committed by the state, and ensuring that such experience will not be repeated. A key moment was in 2006 when the communist regime was officially condemned by the Romanian state. And this was based on the findings of the Presidential Commission for the Analysis of the Communist Dictatorship in Romania. This act represented a formal acknowledgement of the crimes and abuses committed during the communist period, including political imprisonment, forced labor, surveillance, and repression of any opposition. Also, it aligned Romania with broader European efforts to confront totalitarian past. To build a memory infrastructure, several institutions have been created. And these are the Institute for the Investigation of the Communist Crimes and Memory of the Romanian Exile. It was CNSEAS, the National Council for the Study of the Securitatea Archives, and the Sighet Memorial. Sighet Memorial is very important for us, for the Romanian, and is a place where many of us are going to, not to pay respect, but to be informed, because it was a former political prison turned into a museum and a study center. It preserves the stories of political prisoners and victims of the regime through permanent and temporary exhibition. These institutions are essentials for turning official acknowledgement into public knowledge, which is very, very important. As you can see in the photos, on the next slide, is the Sighet Memorial, a place designed to help us better understand the life, suffering, the sacrifice, and of the martyrs in communist prisons. It is a place for reflection and prayer. And as I said before, is very important for the Romanian people. Challenges. What challenges do we have? Why official memory doesn't always reach the public? Education is a key issue. While the communist period is included in school curricula, it is often not explored enough in enough depth to create a strong understanding among students. Many textbooks cover the dictatorship briefly, without detailed discussion of daily life under repression, the Securitateas methods, or the moral dilemmas of the transition. As a result, the connection between past and present democratic values is not always clearly perceived by young Romanians. And this is a very big pity. Romania has developed a framework for commemorating democracy, including official recognition, as I told you, in 2006, memory institutions, and public ceremonies in the month of December. However, the main challenge remains transforming this memory into an active and shared democratic culture. Commemorating democracy in Romania is not only about remembering the past, but also about building democratic resilience for the future. So, how can we make memory feel more relevant to young people today? Memory becomes relevant when young people see themselves inside it, but as active participants in defending democracy today and not as passive listeners. Thank you very much for your time and for your listening, because this period of Romania in the communism time, it has to be known because the history memory is a tool of defense against manipulation.
To make us known in the everyday life that we have to stand up for Europe and democracy. And we made a lot of different approaches to bring people together and also to practice new methods. One of the most, widespread was this action and is this action, Stand Up for Europe and Democracy. We asked people of all countries to take part on the photo campaign, to make support for united, diverse, and peaceful Europe. And you see, it was very simple. It is very simple. We have only to make known a postcard or a flyer where it's written, Stand Up for Democracy, join us. And on the left, you see our main mayor, the first mayor of Ulm, with an international group of students who had been in Ulm last September. And by this photo, we started this campaign. And now we have 905 people taking part. And until the end of June, we would like to have 1,000, because we will present this project also in the frame of the Danube Festival. And so I invite you cordially to take part. It's very simple, and it's not political in a sense of a special message. It's a common message of European values, stand up for democracy. It's important for us all to live in a good way, in togetherness in our countries and in the whole Europe. But we made all, Anna, you asked how to involve young people. This is really a difficult thing because they don't and they didn't suffer about we suffered. And so it's far away and Europe is normal and they can travel wherever they like. And I remember well the difficulties we had to go from Germany to France when I was a student, and the controls that had been. This today is not more a problem, a challenge. And so for young people, Europe often is done, democracy is done, and they are not so informed about what had happened in the Second World War and after, and especially in the school curriculum, it's not given enough, importance to this very important point of terrible things against democracy and the crimes they had been and so on. The crimes by the Nazism, but also in all our countries, there are such terrible events. And you showed us now for Romania that it was not so easy to overcome. So we tried to make competitions. The first one was creative short videos, maximal 3 minutes, and show people how democratic values can given in practice. And we had some very nice presentations from different countries. Also, Spanish students took part. The winner had been a group of students, of very young students, with their teacher, Tomislav. He is with us this evening, and he can speak later about. It was a simulation of democracy in a school class. When we will go to a school event outside, where we will go and who will decide. And it was met in practice, how they did, and finally, with the prize they got, they made realize this travel. This is very fine, and it makes known that we have to begin very early, finally in kindergarten, and then in primary school, and not thinking, oh, it will come by itself, or adults will resolve the problems. We have to involve everybody, and this at the beginning. So we had this nice presentations, and you can see them also. We presented them, some of you will remember, in one of the Come Together sessions. And now we are just ongoing another competition, and it's just going on. We asked people to submit simple implementable projects that make democracy visible in everyday life. And we had very interesting proposals by young people, but also by older. And they had to present what is the idea, what they will do, and how they will do it, and who will be involved. And the winners had been young people from Ukraine, but also there had been a very library group from Cluj. It had been a school class from Germany. So you see, we involved different classes from different countries, and it was very fine to have it. And they will present the results at the end of June, and then we will see what they have done. For the moment, for example, a German class, who is one of the actors, they asked a lot of young people in your countries, what do you think about violence against women? It was given by themselves. Nobody entered in this question or in this activity, and we will be very curious to hear what they discover and what others are thinking about. But also others make time witness work, and they make interviews with elderly, and others make debates. So in 1 month, you will see what they will have done. We will present it on a Come Together session, but also in Ulm. On our website, Fit for Democracy .eu, you will see a lot of examples we try to realize to approach this very important theme of democracy. Competitions, this is one, but we also make interviews, and you will find a lot of statements what democracy means to me, coming from different voices from different countries, but also from surveys. Then we have lectures. Last week we had a lecture about intergenerational togetherness and cooperation, and why we needed to to maintain and to foster democracy. It was coming from Serbia. It was very interesting. But we also make qualifications because we think that all people now need to know more about the use of new media to foster cooperation. We hear a lot about fake news and so on, and it's really a dangerous thing. But we think the come together sessions as we do this evening or other things are very helpful. Surveys. It's so simple to make a small survey, announcement, podcast. And we developed also an online platform accessible in 14 different languages to overcome our language barriers. By the way, also in your language, dear colleagues from Poland. And so we try by these qualifications online to bring more knowledge to people, youngers and olders, especially for oldest, because youngers are easily approaching these new technologies, to use it and to have a feeling of togetherness for this value of democratic, how to say, not only idea, but necessity for our future and to maintaining for our future in Europe. And we have also a toolbox which made known a lot of very small but effective methods to bring democratic methods and values to younger and older people. Have a look and you will be inspired, I'm sure, also to make something of these methods in your frame. So this is our really very important and how to say heartful message. Let us bring together methods and people and strengthening each other to make events, to make it active in the everyday life. Because democracy for us is not only elections and then it's done. It's something we have to practice in everyday life, and all generations are involved. We will make now in July a big conference, and it's combined with work groups and so on, a 3-day meeting in Ulm. And this motto of this year will be democracy needs all of us. And this is the important message we have to widespread and to practice. Democracy is not something done. It is something concerning all of us and made by us and for us. And so I invite you to join us by the postcard action, by bringing in methods and let us know about, as we do in the Come Together sessions this evening and in other evenings, and to bring also in some models. I think it's so important that young people hear about persons, models for engagement for democracy and against each kind of restriction and suppression and so on. Thank you for participating this evening, but also I invite you to participate in all the activities concerning democracy wherever you are and also in others. Thank you very much.
And I want to tell everyone that about the young generation that we have with us today, a very talented one person, Marinela Simionescu, to tell and to recite her creation. The floor is yours, Marinela. And I ask you to recite it in Romanian and in English. Încetișor. Okay.
The poem is called Stele Libere in Romanian, and it's like this. Steaua albă, orbitoare, observată din depărtare, coboară zilnic pe pământ și ne surprinde cu al ei cânt. Suntem liberi, trăim, gândim, vedem totul și totuși încă ne întrebăm, cum se poate să fim demni de acest trai? Oamenii zâmbesc, păsările ciripesc, suntem liberi, oameni buni liberi. Europa, pământ sfânt, liber și primitor, cu soarele cel mai strălucitor. Îți mulțumim pentru a ta iubită, sfântă libertate, fără de care nu am putea numi acest adevăr pe care îl trăim viața. And now I will be reciting it in English, so it goes like this. Three stars. A white star blazing, seen from far away, descends to earth with song each day. It comes in light and leaves us stirred by every shining, silent word. We live, we think, we see we're free, we see it all, yet still as quietly. How can we prove we are worthy of this grace, this gift of breath, this living place? People smile, the small birds sing, freedom is the air we bring. We are free, dear soul, set free. O Europe, sacred, welcoming land, with the brightest sun above your strand, we thank you for our holy liberty. Without it, life would cease to be, the truth we know and live each day, the gift we simply call life's way. Thank you.
And I'm very happy to give the floor to Dr. Agnieszka Furmanska-Maruksak for the University of Third Age, the director of the University of Third Age from Torun, Poland. Agnieszka, the floor is yours.
So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Anna, for inviting us. It's a pleasure to share the ideas of the MAKU project. So the MAKU project is the small-scale partnership under the Erasmus funding. And it's an acronym of the whole title, Making Culture a Powerful Tool of Involving Seniors into Democratic Life. As I introduced myself, my name is Agnieszka Furmanska-Maruksak, and I work at Nicholas Copernicus University in Torun, and I'm also the president of Torun University of the Third Age. I divided this presentation into three parts, so let me give you a brief introduction so that to say a few words about our organization, Torun University of the Third Age. Then I'm going to tell you a little bit about the MAKU project, and then I will tell you a little bit about main actions because it's just a half of the project. So some of the actions have been already done and some are still waiting. All right, so let's start with our organization. The abbreviation is TUTW, Torun University of the Third Age. So we are not a part of the university. We are voluntary self-governing association, but we cooperate with the Nicholas Copernicus University, especially in terms of science and organization. And what is important, everything is based on the voluntary and social work of our members. And this is quite a big association because we have around 1,300 members. The main goal of our organization is to develop both intellectual and physical fitness and to improve quality of life of older people. And we are focused on three main areas. The first, and I wouldn't say maybe the most important, not maybe the most important in terms of, for example, the groups of interest, but the most important in terms of the prestige and the idea of the whole university is education, but also art and sport. These are also very important points of the development of seniors. And we applied for the first time for Erasmus because our goal was to open such a big organization for international cooperation. And within the MAKU project, we cooperate with Cerahis from Slovakia, with Liga Scritorilor Filiala Timișoara Banat from Romania, and our university, Third Age University from Poland. So the main idea of the project is to use culture as a tool for first building intergenerational dialogue so as to build seniors' involvement into democratic life. The three partners, we are a little bit different. Actually, I will start with us as a coordinator. Our organization is very big, and we also have, let's say, access to facilities of public university, quite a good university in region. So it gives us quite a lot of opportunities. While in Slovakia, there is a very good and very dynamic organization, much smaller than ours, as Danka Benturova, who is present with us. She's the director of Center for Religious and Historical Studies. And Anna cooperates with us and help, yes, and she's, I would say, a soul also of this project, and League of Writers from Timișoara. So the things that we are focused on, these are social inclusion, diversity, and shared values. And the idea was actually to take into account 3 countries, all of them with memory, with the experience of socialism and communist time and center-governed market, scarcities, problems with freedom, oppression, and so on and so forth. So the idea was to connect people with the memory of these kind of life from 3 post-communist countries, so that they can share the values that help them to survive, to fight for democracy under such circumstances, how they cope with deficiencies, for example, through creativity, art, and culture, because these were the places where we as nations were really creative. How to, how to get rid of the old clothes, not to throw them away, but use them again and again and again, because there was nothing more to do. And it meant also to provide space for youngsters to express their views on democracy, which are completely different views, completely different understanding, and we use the culture as a tool. Within the project, we have 3 main actions, and each action is related to the type of organization we present. And the center from Slovakia, they are very good in history and also good with cooperation with youngsters. So the first action is called Journey for Knowledge, and the idea of this action is to organize trips to memorial sites, the sites that are related to socialism, so that to bring back some stories related to that time, so that the seniors can share their stories with youngsters based on their memories. And also we will see this in a moment, a very good idea. This idea has been already mentioned by, sorry, I forgot, I'm doing my best, by Carmen, sorry, the idea by youth-led interviews with seniors. The second action is related to our friends from Timișoara, and in this moment, we try to use poetry and creative writing as a space for sharing emotions, attitudes, beliefs about democracy, and share this between the generation. So in the first action, it's more about using history and culture itself as a tool for building up the involvement of seniors in democratic life. In the second action, it's more about poetry and creative writing to build first intergenerational connections, and then make seniors being heard and important in this process. And the third action, it's called Driven by Democracy, and we are responsible as the Toruń University of the Third Age. And this is going to be divided into several parts. So in order to create a performance which is going to be played at the end of October in Torun, and it's going to be broadcasted as well. In order to create the space for creating this performance, we wanted to gather the group of seniors and young people. And first, we wanted to create a space for sharing their thoughts about democracy, getting to know each other, talking about emotions, needs, talking about communication, motivation. So that was the moment of development workshop. Then we are also now still involved in creating and leading environmentally friendly art workshop that is led by seniors to young people. And we've just started the preparation of the and rehearsals to the performance driven
I'm
by
sorry
democracy.
for interrupting. Can you just slow down because the translators can't keep up with you? Just a little bit slower.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, definitely. Okay, so to give you some examples about these actions. So, for example, Cerahis organized trips to memorial sites related to socialism in the Košice area in Slovakia. They also organized conversations with seniors about the memories of that period. And they've prepared interviews conducted by young people with seniors. And they use, among others, they used this question: what is most important on a daily basis when living in a democratic country? Here we have some photos from Journey for Knowledge to Sztos. Sztos, it's let's say still working, but also working in socialist time. Zdenka, I hope I'm correct. It's like a spa center. We have something like that in Poland as well. So you could see that it was not a new place, but quite well renovated. And we had the chance to bring seniors them and hear their stories. And also Jasov, a monastery in Jasov. The conclusions from Journey for Knowledge is that we saw the need to adapt the pace and method of travel and also communication to older people. And we could see that this place evoked emotions and memories and created the place for sharing life stories. And we also think that this historical value is important to create, it is life-based, it's based on memories. So this is based on our seniors' personal stories, and it creates a bridge in communication with young people. Okay, and let me give you the example of the interview prepared by Cerahis. I hope you could hear that.
Že čo je demokracia ako taká a v ktorej krajine je demokracia?
No je to byť slobodný, cestovať, mať sa dobre, aby ma nikto neobmedzoval.
Hlavne pre mňa je dôležité, že žijem v miery, že žijem pokojne, že sa nemusím ukrývať niekde do ukrytov.
You cannot see the video?
No.
Okay. Okay, so maybe I will come back to this later. Okay, so I will skip it.
Že čo je demokracia?
Okay, I'm sorry because it was so interesting. The power of poetry, the next action.
Sorry, we don't see the presentation at all. Can you share your screen again, or do you need help with that?
Okay. And have you seen the video before?
Yes, and then it stopped.
Okay, so that was my mistake. I'm sorry. And now I understand. I'm sorry about that. Sorry, it's even for me a bit complicated. Okay, I'm just doing that one more time. Okay. Okay, just to make sure. Okay. Can you see the slide with the video now?
Yes.
Yes,
okay. So I'm sorry. I'm going to continue with that.
Že čo je demokracia ako taká a A v ktorej krajine je demokracia?
No je to byť slobodný, cestovať, hej, mať sa dobre, aby ma nikto neobmedzoval.
Hlavne pre mňa je dôležité, že žijem v miery, že žijem pokojne, že sa nemusím ukrývať niekde do ukrytov.
Najdôležitejšie je mať bývať, mať prácu, žiť zdravý, ako mať radosť z rodiny.
Informácie. Teraz ide o to, či sú pravdivé alebo nie. Keď sú pravdivé, aké majú zmysel? A keď sú nepravdivé, aké sú dôvody?
Že každý môže akože žiť, jak chce, ale niektoré pravidlá musia byť aj v demokracii.
Že demokracia je kvet, ktorý rastie.
Oh. Okay. The last is very good. I'm sorry.
Že čo je demokracia?
Okay. The last one was the best, but if you are interested, I will send I will send the link. Oh my goodness, and I cannot switch. Okay. So you could see, sorry for these technical problems, you could see the part of the short movie. We had several seniors and youngsters leading the interviews with a question, what is the most important on a daily basis when living in a country, in a democratic country. The second action was the power of poetry when we had the workshop on writing, reciting and interpreting poetry for young people and seniors. And this was really great because we could feel as we had the poem from, I forgot the name, Anna.
Marinella.
Marinella, yes. From Marinella, I could also listen to Marinella. I had this privilege on site, so that was great. And for me, it was again the space for meetings and sharing experiences. And this is the whole group of seniors and young people. And this was not only reciting of poems, writing and reciting, but also interpreting, sharing their attitudes, their beliefs. It was really heart moving. And it was also important because all these things are done within the framework of real fight for democracy. As Anna mentioned before, this is the memorial in Timișoara, when we can actually touch, when we could actually touch the places and the memory of Timișoara and Romanian nation, how they fought for democracy and how important it was. This was also very hard moving for me when we could see when you could see on the left the photos from the fight of democracy from around the 20th December, Anna, 1989. Am I right?
Yes.
And nowadays on your right hand side, how it looks today. Our general conclusion from this moment of the power of poetry action is that, as I said, we created the space for experiencing and expressing emotions. I think the poetry is this, it gives this opportunity to experience and also to reveal emotions. And also this poetry gives the possibility of deeper understanding and deeper sharing of what we think is important for us. And also the desire of being welcomed and appreciated by others. And yes, I said Romanian authors created these poems in the context of their culture, history, places of remembrance. And from my experience, when I heard all these poems, I could hear a lot about the values of love and faith. And the third action, as I said, the whole action aims at all the actions actually are aimed to create the performance driven by democracy. So we started with development workshops. Democracy begins with the dialogue. And we also organized eco-friendly workshop when we invited young people from other projects from Turkey, Portugal, Italy, and Poland, and also eco-friendly workshop. And here the group created their own definitions of democracy. And here you could see vocal workshops and environmentally friendly art workshop. And Krystyna on your left-hand side is performing a song sang and written by Red Guitars, a Polish band that talks about love. She's going to sing it in a minute. And I will also give interpretation of this song. And we are now preparing, we have already prepared the script for the play. We invited amateur actors from among youth and seniors. And I think that we also organize several activities to create this space for the dialogue, for them to feel safe, to create art. And on your left-hand side, you can see the senior director and the professional director cooperating together, and a very short moment of the rehearsal, not professional because it was recorded by one of the seniors, so maybe the picture is not very good, but I think it will show the atmosphere. Right. Some conclusions from this action so far, that we tried to use diverse activities, as I said, to create a safe space for international dialogue, exchange of experiences, as I said, sharing emotions. And we could see that our organization has a great potential, but in some cases you need to meet the people, encourage them, and open for the cooperation. And also we had some problems, as you said before, with youth accessibility. We are still working on that. Okay. Last time, the only thing I wanted to add that last time we also prepared a seminar, Empowerment in Democracy. And one thought that came to my mind, and it's also related to what you have already shared, is technology. Some seniors mentioned that technology is a great barrier for them to use their civic rights. Thank you very much for your attention.
We will hear the song performed by Krystyna Wojcik from Toru.
Oh, hey, hello. Uwaga. Płoną górką lasy przedwieczornej mgły, stromym słońcem dnia, miałkiem toczy się. Płoną górką lasy, lecz nie dla mnie już, braknie mi znów twych, ciepła twoich słów. Rzuć między nas najszerszą z rzek, najgłębszy nurt, najlepszy brzeg. Rzuć między nas to, co na złe, a ja i tak odnajdę się. minie dzień. Płoną góry, płoną lasy, jeszcze dla mnie już brak mi jest swych, zwierzę twoich słów. Rzuć mnie